Hi, welcome back to my FSY. This is a level 2 energy practice that we're calling full circumference chest opening. Let's begin. You'll need a block and of course your sticky mat. And you'll place that block right on the middle of your mat for hero's pose. Remember that in hero's pose, you want to have your knees together, your ankles just a little bit wider apart than your hips. And it's very important for the health of your knees that the toes are aimed straight backwards. So take a moment to look at both of your feet, see that is happening for yourself. Then grabbing hold of your calves, you just pull the calf muscles back toward your heels. Remember too that, so I'm of course demonstrating on the lower height of the block. You could always sit your block up a little higher. If you don't have blocks at all, improvise. I'm sure you have coffee table books or something firm that's solid for you to sit on. And because we're going to be focusing mostly on the chest for this practice, I don't want the discomfort of your knees or your ankles to be a distraction. So just give yourself a little bit more lift. Full circumference chest opening, that does beg the question, what do I mean by that? So often in the yoga world, people talk about opening your heart, and usually what that means is just spreading the front part of your heart, and on the back part of the chest area, unfortunately, there's a tightening and a narrowing. So that's contrary to our definition of balance. Really what we want is an even opening on both the front body and the back body, a balanced opening. So I'm going to talk you through some techniques to do that. And we tried to keep this practice minimal props. All you have is your block and your mat. Now you take your thumbs into your armpits and you start to lift the armpit chest up. Do your best to grab the flesh of the armpits so that you're really lifting it up. And as you start to feel a nice rise, notice also that your collarbones have gone from potentially collapsing down like droopy shoulder lapels to more floating up. This is one of the better things you can do to realign your shoulder girdle. Lifting the armpit chest up, feeling your collarbones lift up. Notice how your shoulder blades also have firmed against your back. Now that you see what I'm doing, take a moment to close your eyes and to simply direct a couple breaths into the front part of the chest. Then let your eyes open, let your arms open out wide to the side. So just like this, right? Simple airplane wing arms. You'll cross your whole right arm on top of your whole left arm. Give yourself a little bit of a bear hug. I found in teaching people that really muscular folks, this can be sort of challenging for you to just get your arms crossing like so. And if that's the case for you, then just know this is your pose, that you're just going to cross the elbows. You're going to lean forward a little bit and now start to spread the back part of your chest. Some of you will be able to entwine your forearms as I'm demonstrating now. I just wrapped the forearms around each other. Palms together, and you steer your thumbs in line with the bridge of your nose. We call this the Eagles pose. We tried to rename it the Saints pose because we're Saints fans down here. We're not really big on the Philadelphia Eagles, but the yoga police wouldn't let us rename it. They say it has to be the Eagles pose. So we'll keep it like that. Now you start to deliberately hunch forward a little bit. Hunch forward. You bring your elbows closer toward your sternum. Close your eyes and again direct your breath into the back part of your heart. Right between the shoulder blades, you breathe right in the back part of the heart. And then come all the way out. Let your eyes open. Let your arms open out wide to the side. Go back to thumbs and armpits pose. We should come up with a better name than that, eh? Thumbs and armpits. Maybe we'll collectively think of one to rename it. But the effect is the same, no matter what we call it. That when you lift the armpit chest up, you feel your collarbones lift. You feel your shoulder blades firm against your back. You might also notice, especially if you're staring at a computer all day, that now your head is able to release back and up. Back and up, so it's more in line with your spine. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe right up into the front part of your chest, right under those collarbones. And then release, eyes open, arms open wide to the side. One more time. Put your whole left arm on top of your right. I bet everybody could do some semblance of this, just crossing arms, giving a bear hug. If you're a little tighter in your shoulders, well then no big deal. This is your place, and you're just going to drop your chin and sort of round into yourself. If it's available to you, entwine the forearms, palms facing toward each other, thumbs in line with the bridge of your nose. Either way, I'd invite you to let your eyes close. You'll probably feel some stretch across the back of your chest. And while sometimes in the yoga world we imaginatively breathe into certain areas, right now you can literally breathe into the back part of the chest. Release. Let your eyes open. Let your arms open out wide to the side. Then bring your hands back down to your thighs. Now you take a moment to just feel the effects of these two simple things we've done. You can close your eyes. Closing your eyes is always a good idea when you want to direct your attention inside. Close your eyes. Try to feel the front of your chest broadening and the back of your chest broadening. Visualize the whole inside of your chest like a huge umbrella that's expanded out and opened up. And for fun, as you breathe into that umbrella, feel the whole center pole of your spine getting a nice lift. Release. Let your eyes open. Lean forward onto all fours. We'll move the block out of the way. Come into downward facing dog pose. Since this is a level 2 at my FSY program, we're just assuming you've had some instructions on this before. If you haven't, then please review one of our level 1 programs where we tell you all the step-by-step details how to do downward dog. As always, move your thighs back into the back part of the leg. Let the neck relax so your head is framed between your two arms. Then with your mind, open that same umbrella right in your upper chest. You're going to spread across your collarbones, spread across your shoulder blades. Keep that spread happening as you straighten your arms and reach through the inside edges of your hands. Breathe. Spreading out. Straightening your arms. Feel the expansion of your whole chest. Breathe. Bend your knees, walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Come into standing forward bend pose. You could always hold your elbows and fold down. If it's available to you, just keep your fingertips on the ground. Sometimes in the forward bend, we become a little claustrophobic, like you can feel that there's not enough room. But you, with this image of the umbrella, with this feeling of eagle's pose and thumbs and armpits pose, you could prevent some of that claustrophobia feeling by spreading out across your chest, even as you push into your fingertips and deepen your forward bend. Bring your hands to the back of your pelvis. With your hands, push the tail toward the heels. Come all the way up to standing mountain pose. Good old mountain pose. Now I'll turn this way to be right in the middle of my mat, and you could do the same thing. So instead of standing at the front, stand in the middle. And that way in the standing poses, you'll be able to walk out wide. Review what we just did in the very beginning. Thumbs in armpits. Lift your collarbones. Release your arms down to your side. Let the shoulder blades spread out wide like they did in the eagle's pose. And just let the breath float. A couple more cycles. Let it float right across your chest. From mountain pose, walk your feet out wide to a nice wide stride. Take your arms out wide as well. As always, for the standing poses, at least these initial ones, turn your left toes in 15 degrees. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Keeping the legs nice and straight. Spill your pelvis to the right for a triangle pose. Now, conveniently enough, there's a kind of a block handy for me. Hopefully your block is handy for you as well. So if your hand doesn't easily touch the floor, then you just grab your block. I'll show right now with my hand on the floor. Just where it can go one day when the legs start to open up. Remember, we're focusing on full circumference chest opening today. So what I want you to focus on in this moment is reaching through the thumb sides of your hands to spread your collarbones. Then reach through the pinky sides of your hands to spread your shoulder blades. As you feel both the front and the back of your chest opening up, begin to turn toward the ceiling and even look up. One more full cycle of breath to absorb the shape. And then from the strength of your feet, inhale, come all the way up to standing. Hands on hips, turn your feet so they're parallel. From parallel, right toes in 15 degrees, left toes out 90 degrees. Inhale, take your arms out wide to the side. With straight legs, exhale, spill your pelvis to the left, triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana. Typically, we think of these poses as hip opening poses, leg strengthening and lengthening poses. But it's fun to change the focus every now and then, and at least to keep the pose fresh. So once more, reach through the thumb side of each hand. Feel your collarbones broaden. Reach through the pinky side of each hand. Feel your shoulder blades broaden. Breathe so that actually registers, and then from your whole chest starting to open up, turn to eventually look up. Wow. Love the expansiveness of triangle pose. From the strength of your feet, inhale, come all the way up to standing. Turn your feet back to parallel. Left toes in 15 degrees, right toes out 90 degrees, warrior two. You simply bend your right knee. Remember, in Warrior 2, keep your knee directly over your ankle. Center your torso between your two strong legs. Then direct your gaze over your right hand. Once more, focus on expanding collarbones into thumbs, shoulder blades into pinkies. Spread your chest, and then as you breathe, start to float your chest up away from those legs. It goes up away from the legs. Release, hands on hips. Straighten your right knee, turn your feet parallel. Right toes in 15 degrees. Left toes out 90 degrees. Inhale, take your arms out wide to the side. Exhale, bend your left knee till it comes right over the ankle. It's always worth looking at your left knee and making sure it is directly over the ankle. Center your torso between the legs. Focus on spreading not only the front of your chest, but the back of your chest too. Collarbones to thumbs. Shoulder blades to pinkies. Open the umbrella of your chest and float it up off of those legs. 2 more cycles. And release. Hands on hips. Straight left knee. We'll keep going. Turn the feet parallel. Left toes in 15 degrees, right toes out 90 degrees. Inhale, arms out wide to the side. Exhale, bend the right knee. This time, put your right hand down either on that same block or on the ground. Stretch your left arm over your ear. So remember, this we call the side angle pose. Side angle pose. And while there's so many things you could consider in the yoga poses, today the focus is going to be on maintaining openness in the chest. Spread the collarbones apart, spread the shoulder blades apart as though it was a big umbrella. Start to twirl the umbrella. In New Orleans, we use umbrellas in the second line. Twirl the second line umbrella of your chest to look up. 2 good breaths. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Hands on hips, parallel feet. Right toes in, 15 degrees. Left toes out, 90 degrees. Inhale, arms out wide to the side. Exhale, bend your left knee. Same deal, put the left hand down, either on a block or on the ground. Stretch your right arm all the way over your ear. Pump the feet into the ground. Pump the waist a little bit longer. And then take a moment to spread out. Spread collarbones. Spread shoulder blades. Spread your breath to the inside of your chest. And then turn the chest open. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Turn your feet parallel. Walk your feet all the way together for mountain pose again. So we always take a moment to just register what the poses actually did. And when you find center in mountain pose, usually you'll have some sense of this rising quality on the front side. But I'd also remind you to let that same rise happen on the back side. Bring your hands together right in front of your chest. Open your palms forward. Hook your thumbs as I'm doing right now, which is like a little, looks like a butterfly clasp. Extend your arms forward. And as though you're going to break that clasp, begin to pull your thumbs against each other so that your arms straighten. Keeping your throat soft, take your arms all the way up. And up. And up. And it's the same image. If you're used to our MyFSY programs, you know how fond we are of imagery, because the images really speak to the body, and especially if you don't know a whole lot of anatomy. You can at least have some image, and that will tend to get you more in feeling mode rather than so concerned about whether or not you're doing it right. So I want you to dial up that same image of the umbrella opening in your chest on the front side, on the back side, so it's the full circumference. And then keeping the umbrella lifting up, slowly bend your knees and start to come down. Take your time. So you keep floating the chest up while you bend knees and sink down. And when you're doing that well, you feel like actually your lower back gets longer. Your legs get stronger, your lower back gets longer, your chest feels like it stays open. Straighten your legs, come all the way up without collapsing the umbrella of your chest. Just let your arms come down. All the way down. So there it is, really. There's so many more directions we could go in. If you're feeling energized from this program, well, then we hope you carry that on to the rest of your day. Alternatively, you could follow us on the next full circumference chest opening program, in which we'll delve a little bit more deeply into some of these poses. So thanks so much for practicing with us. Hope you feel lighter and more buoyant through your day. See you next time.